Miss Kramer's art class. Today we're gonna paint these beautiful and draw these beautiful water lilies. This is gonna be a two lesson class where we're gonna be using crayons and also watercolors, okay, to complete this lesson. I'm gonna show you two ways how to make a big flower and a smaller flower. So if you wanted to just make one big flower like this or many small water lily flowers, you can do that. We are inspired today by a painter, and his name is Claude Monet. Claude Monet. He looked like this, and he loved painting water lilies. So here I'm gonna open this book, and it's like magic. And this is one of his paintings, and I'm gonna zoom in so you can see all the beautiful water lilies he painted. And I'm gonna read you the book after we start painting them. So I'm gonna read it to you while you are coloring. But first, I'm gonna show you how to get started. So this is called Claude Monet, and the style of art is called Impressionism. And here I have another book that is all about Claude Monet water lilies, and this is how you spell water lilies. So in your title on your page, go ahead and write water lilies. Where the title is, you're gonna write water lilies, okay? And that spells Waterlilies, water lilies. And Claude Monet was an impressionist painter who loved painting light. He was a painter of light. We're gonna learn about him a lot, his stories, and how he reflected on light and what he saw when he was looking at water lilies. He was painting in oil, all these different flowers, purples, pinks, reflections of light, little suggestions of leaves. As you can see, his water lilies are not perfect, so don't try to be perfect. They're sometimes only a suggestion. This is how he looks like. This is how big those water lilies paintings are. You can see his real stature and how he looks like in this book, okay? And he was inspired again. This is a photograph of water lilies, and this is the pond he used to paint. It's in Giverny, and he was painting between the years 1957 and 1958. So don't try to be perfect, because even Claude Monet is not perfect. Each of his paintings are a little different, and it's not perfect. We're not trying to paint perfect. The Impressionism actually is more about an abstract rendering, sort of like a suggestion of a water lily. It doesn't have to be a complete flower. And then we're going to read this book. It's called The Magical Garden, and I bought it online, Magical Garden of Claude Monet. And here's an illustration of Claude Monet. And we are going to learn about the magical garden. So you can immerse yourself in that beautiful world and be inspired by all of the beautiful water lilies that Claude Monet painted, like these. Okay, they're nice and simple. I'm gonna leave this picture open so you can be inspired, and I'm gonna get started. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and for this lesson, it's very helpful to use peeled crayons, because we can make different suggestions of light by rubbing like this. So I start like kind of rubbing where the pond is, kind of like sketching the lights, how they're running around with my blue, because it's gonna be all blue basically, and we're gonna also mix in some darker blue or green. Okay, so first we're just gonna kind of suggest where the water is, kind of going around like this. I'm going back and forth, just kind of zigzag lines, making reflections all around the paper a little bit. And I'm gonna choose different colors of blue. So I'm gonna go from light blue maybe to a little purplish color for low lights. And I have highlights, and I keep rubbing. And this is gonna actually resist our painting later, because we're gonna put watercolor on top. So don't worry about trying to make it perfect again, because it will actually look different once you put the watercolor over it, okay? So I am just grabbing a little bit of purple and blue. You can find a crayon that's already peeled, or you can take a crayon, break a piece of it, and peel it. Peel a small piece like this is enough. Keep rubbing like this. You want to have the whole background a little bit covered with the rubbings of the crayon, just like that. I have also this kind of blue. So just imagine that the light is shining from a certain direction, maybe from here, and it's touching the water surface, and the water is moving in a nice and relaxing way. And water always goes horizontally, so don't try going up and down. That's not going to look natural. We are going to go side to side, side to side, side to side. Okay? Very good. We are going side to side, not up and down, side to side only, because the fun is going to be those nice water features and not really shouldn't be a zigzag line going down, because the water will flow this way, up and down not, but side to side, side to side. So I have a lot of crayons now on, and this is probably good. So I'm going to show you a nice little close-up. So it looks like this. Okay, I have some purple there. I got some blue there. Okay. At this time, you can choose to do this big one, or we can do a bunch of small ones. If you're going to choose the big one, I can show you that in the background, and then I'll show you some small ones also. I'll show you both. So I'm going to start with the big flower. You can choose a nice color crayon. Maybe it doesn't have to be peeled anymore. The peeled ones were for water, but you can just use a nice red or pink or burgundy or purple, maybe magenta. Maybe use all of them, get them all out. So you have choices and shading. So you want to have all these colors, pretty colors ready that you like, okay? And when you get all your crayons ready, we are going to outline it first with a light pink maybe, and I'm going to put it somewhere to the front because the background is going to have all the small ones. So you see how my fingers go? And I will pretend that I'll put one finger like this, 3, 1, 2, 3, and there's 1, 2, so all 5. Okay, so like 5 fingers, 3 this way and 2 this way. So you imagine it here. You're gonna go to the bottom of this corner, and you're just going to make almost like a triangle, but it's like an oval and a triangle, going in the directions of the fingers, kind of opening up like this, okay? Like that, opening up. So it's sort of like an oval, right? A petal. So a finger can help you because you can go around the finger like this, and you can sketch it around very nicely, okay? And it's gonna look just fine. And this painting doesn't have it, but what I was thinking, it can even have like a little center here. I like to put my center maybe like right here. It's gonna be my yellow center of the flower. I'll put my yellow center right here. And you can do that or not. You can leave the yellow center out if you don't want it. I'm gonna add a few more petals going over the center. Like this, 1, 2, 3 here to the front. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I even have 9 petals, and that's fine. I can even add one more overlapping like this way. I add a few more around the petal, But the basic is just, if you have just 5, that's fine. I'm showing you a little bit more complex, and we are having second graders here with us today. So they're gonna do a great job, and maybe by the end of the class, I'll show you what we were able to do. So it's, like I said, a petal. So I'm using my finger and I'm going around it. And all you have to do is just color after that and use different colors. All these different colors. The darker colors are best to the really center where less light hits. And the lightest colors are on the top where away from light. Okay, so maybe I'll use the purples on the inside, like really dark where there's no light hitting the flower, and maybe just the tips are gonna be pinks and reds. Okay, maybe dark burgundy on the edges to make it pop. Look how that made it pop. Okay, and you can scribble and just suggest it, because with Impressionism, suggestion is the key. Like, you don't have to concentrate too much on details, because Claude Monet usually painted water lilies like a little suggestion only, okay? There's no big details, just little scribbles almost is okay with Claude Monet, because the Impressionism is all about how the light hits and not like the very, very details. I'm gonna scratch some, little bit of that yellow off, and maybe put some even darker tones here, little seeds of the water lily. And I'm gonna outline my water lily one more time like this, like that. And I'll again show you the little simpler one as well, which is just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, the next part is kind of doing these water lily leaves. They're kind of floating on top of the water, if you've seen a water lily. And I'll show you the actual picture of the photograph of the water lily right here. They're just floating on top of the water, and they have a little slit. See that little slit here? They have a little slit, okay? So we're gonna start drawing these petals, okay? The leaves, these ones, okay? So there, you're gonna get different colors of green. So I'm gonna get dark green, light green, maybe even dark blue, purple. We can mix in as the water lilies are touching the water. They're gonna have some dark blue colors too. So these are the selections I made for my awesome water lilies. Show you how amazing our students are doing already. Some of them are already ahead. I didn't even teach. This is Abigail, and I didn't even teach the leaf, and she already knows exactly how to make the water lily leaf. And I love her 1, 2, 3 petals, 1, 2, 3, and it's coming from the corner, which is really nice too. And it leaves all this beautiful space. And look how she blends the reds and yellows in the water and the blues. And Brian did a really great job too. So we're gonna continue now. He even did a big one and a small one. So this is gonna be incredible, especially after we put the watercolors over that, which is gonna blend the crayons back into the watercolors. It's gonna look like this with all the blending watercolor over it. It's gonna be so amazing that your mom is gonna be so happy, and she's gonna love it, because we're gonna give it to her for Mother's Day, because we are already getting ready for that big showcase exhibit that's going to be in cafeteria, where all students will exhibit and have their paintings framed like last year. It's going to be amazing. So the next step, I got my crayons ready. I have the dark crayons. I'm inspired by all these water lilies, as you can see them here. By Claude Monet is our inspiration artist. We have to remember his name. And the style of art is Impressionism. And now I'm going to go ahead and start doing the water lily. So it's sort of like a circle, but it has a little slit in it, just like Abigail did it, okay? So you can do the slit going out this way, or the slit going out this way. You can turn it any way you like. Actually, as you can see, Monet only just did scribbles. as you can see with his oil paintings. The slit is still there, but it's not that visible. And you can see how many colors he blended. Even white you can put on top, even a white crayon if you have it. I'm actually so inspired. I'm gonna put some lighter crayons too, and into my, maybe I'm gonna scratch out some of the, with my nail, some of the extra crayon that I don't want in there, so I can scratch it out. But you can see all these different reflections. I'm gonna put some of that color too. And you see it's mostly scribbles, so please don't be scared of doing these. But the actual look at the water lily is kind of like that, as you can see. It's sort of like a circle with a little V inside of it, okay, on the side, okay, where it opens up. So, but I don't want that black to be so visible, so I'm gonna scratch some of it out and just make it maybe blue, okay. So that's all we're gonna do, and a few other flowers on top of these. We are going to put on top like this, just suggesting that in the distance, going all the way to the back, that there are different flowers just like this one. 1, 2, 3, maybe 6 petal one. Each one can be a little different, okay? So look at this one, see? Has some yellow in it even. Let's do that, put some yellow, like that, right here. And the more you go in the distance, the smaller they become. So I'm gonna now paint them all the way tiny in the back. So I'm gonna suggest the leaves are now in the back, somewhere here, all these little dots, and the flowers on them are tiny. We can barely see in the background, okay, because they're further away, okay. And they're much further away now. They're getting away, so they're much further away. And this is just a scribble by now. I'm just doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. 1, 2, 3. Just a little scribble. Maybe I'll add some yellow. Add some yellow to the reflections of water. Maybe I'm gonna pretend the water is light is coming from this side. So the yellow is gonna flash in on my palm coming from this way, reflecting. Okay, the next time we're gonna put awesome watercolors on top of it and add more details. But for today, we're gonna be finished. I'm gonna make another big leaf here because I want it to match this kind of size of flower. So closer to the end of the paper, I'm gonna make it more detailed. But that's pretty much it that we're gonna do today. And again, the artist is Claude Monet. And next time I'm gonna read you that this is all we have for now. You can finish shading the petals on the bottom or add more petals any way you like to. And we are going to be reading the book next time about Claude Monet and his magical garden. And we are going to add the watercolor. So this is part 1. Great job, everybody. And if you're excited about painting next time, give me a big round of applause. Yay! Say yay! Yay! Okay.